a first look at the team that will represent the United States at the upcoming Olympics.
The U.S. will try to take the ball out of Dirk Nowitzki's hands, see what kind of teammates he has.
I was on kind of Bavarian select teams starting when I was 13, 14. And then, there was one big tournament and I got selected to be on the youth national team. And so I think I was there when I was about 14. Was my first time going to the national team. And I always say it's such a pleasure and an honor to represent my country even when I was younger, because we were traveling to these other countries and representing Germany and other countries where some of my classmates had never left even my hometown. So it was for me, it was always a huge honor to play international ball and represent Germany, of course. And so for me, it was always an honor and a no-brainer. And it started really on the youth teams when I had the bond with some of the guys, and so then I worked myself through the youth program, and I think my first time I played under 22 European Championships still, and then my first real national team game in the A team was 1997. So I think I was about 19 years old, and I remember super nervous at the time. With some of the guys that I grew up watching and idolizing. Now I'm all of a sudden lining up with them, practicing with them. So that was an unbelievable feeling that I'll never forget, of course.
Had 13 last night against Italy. It's a 3, I'm sorry. So the U.S. takes the lead.
No hesitation whatsoever by Iverson that time. A careless turnover by the German team. Got to come to the ball against this extended U.S. man-to-man pressure defense.
USA with a 1-point lead and possession. We played a minute and a half. Marbury starts it with Duncan. Tremerling on him. Marbury, Duncan. Missed tip, but Lamar Odom controls. Ray Jefferson on the dive to Duncan and a foul. The basket is good.
And an exuberant response from the USA bench. Everyone up off their feet, realizing how up against it they are tonight with a hostile crowd. They know the referees will make a ton of mistakes that will never be explained to anyone. Last night we saw nothing but long faces on that USA bench.
Tim Duncan trying to complete a 3-point play. And Jefferson had a hand on the rebound, but Germany ends up with it. Germany won by 8 over Italy on Sunday.
USA is not shooting the ball well from the free throw line.
But they really turn the screws defensively. Jefferson to Iverson, and a foul.
That pressure defense, when guys like Lamar Odom and Tim Duncan can come away from the basket, double team. USA guards are very small. Iverson, Marbury. European guards are big. They're 6'4", they're 6'5", and beautiful ball movement, never really touches the floor at all.
Stephen Hammond called for that foul, his first, and Iverson completes the 3-point play. So unlike last night, the Americans have broken out of the gate, scoring 8 of the first 10.
Once again, we see that Iverson really the only U.S. player willing to get up full court and pressure defensively.
Walker under pressure of Marbury, and the foul called on Stephon Marbury.
And 2 rules that came into play last night. Traveling is enforced strictly in international basketball.
Sometimes even when it isn't.
And the other is that the coach has to call timeout, something that really plagued the USA at the end of the first half last night.
Walker with the 2 free throws. Duncan hammers it home on Tremerling. Tim Duncan with 4, and the United States with a 6-point lead.
It was great to be able to not only play with those guys, but from playing against them for so many years, have the opportunity to see why these guys were some of the best players in the game of basketball. You got an opportunity to practice against them and witness how hard it was to guard these guys and why these guys are so good on offense and playing with them as well. So you get all of these opportunities to be able to witness.
Certainly have to be aware that Tim Duncan is right-handed.
Three-point play keeps Germany within 3.
Still the man-to-man defense by Germany.
Allen Iverson around an Odom pick. Okalaji with a rebound. And now Germany with a chance to cut it to 1 or tie with a long one.
The USA has been dominant on the boards, but they can't keep control of the ball. They turn it over regularly, and they've been horrendous from the free throw line.
Wucherer, the foul is called as he got snuffed on the way to the rim. The foul is on Lamar Odom.
In 2003, we had the qualies for Athens in Sweden, and we didn't play well, and we didn't make it to Athens. So we knew, obviously, for USA, this was just an exhibition game before going to Athens. Well, for us, it was the Olympics. You know, it was basically our Super Bowl. You know, we only had, I think, 1 or 2 games, exhibition games that summer, and then obviously this all we trained for. I trained for like over 2 months, knowing this one game that I had in mind. So obviously, I wanted to play well. It was in the biggest stadium we had in Germany at the time, in Cologne, and it was like sold out for weeks in advance. So this was literally our team's Super Bowl and you know, Olympic finals. So that's how we trained for it. That's how I trained for it. And I look back with a smile on my face on that game. Of course, we lost, as you know, but just the atmosphere that's possible for us, which is not a basketball country, but for us to create an atmosphere like that with 20,000 people in the stands screaming for us in a soccer country, that meant the world for us. And we, of course, appreciate the USA of coming through there and growing the sport also in Germany.
They are this sharp.
They really come with some energy, no question about that. Trying to open it up for Wucherer, and the rebound controlled by the U.S. Richard Jefferson came down with it all the way. 6 minutes for the quarter. Nice play, nice feed. Nice finish, Lamar Odom.
Nothing but dunks for the USA.
And that's when they're at their best.
Which leads me to question again, why isn't Germany playing zone? And see what kind of game the USA has brought from the perimeter.
Coach Bowerman may be changing that. And from the outside, they get another hit. This one from Stephon Hammond. It's a 2. It keeps Germany within 1.
Many plays for Coach Bowerman in the regular German league here.
United States turning it over.
But with Richard Jefferson able to move along the baseline against a defense that had to come and help contain Allen Iverson, no weak side rotation. A German man-to-man defense so reminiscent of last night's American defense.
Okalaji. On the rebound, Nowitzki. Punches back inside, they get the layup. Okalaji with 4. And Germany has taken the lead.
Dirk no longer trying to do it single-handedly on the offensive end for his own points. Setting everyone else up right now.
Contact, Iverson gets rid of it. Marbury with a pitch out, 6 to shoot. Odom saves near the timeline. Marbury and Dirk Nowitzki got a piece that looked like. The Marbury comes back with it, then had it knocked away. Germany the steal. Nowitzki is open, and Dirk bags his first 2 tonight as Germany takes a 3-point lead.
German flags, painted faces, the chanting, Alemania, Alemania.
Here's Duncan. The foul is on Femmerling. The basket is good. Patrick Femmerling called for the foul. With 4:12 left in the quarter, we've got a timeout. Well, USA basketball is playing a little more enthused tonight. Duncan already with 6 points in the contest. 17-17 after the Duncan free throw.
Here's some full court pressure by more than just one player, Iverson.
Germany making a change. 6'7", 25-year-old Stephon in the game. Dirk Nowitzki. Odom out on him. Dirk gets it away, and Dirk Nowitzki has his second field goal.
It was an amazing atmosphere. I remember that game. I remember when Allen made the game-winning shot. But, you know, everyone was hyped up to see the game. You know, it was Dirk's home arena. Being able to play in front of the fans were great, being that they, you know, they came to see all of us, but they really got a chance to watch the game and watch a really good game.
Left leg in front of me. As soon as I can get that crossover, I'll knock down that jumper every time and complain to the refs.
The USA came in with a fresh 24. Duncan. Iverson zigs and zags down the lane, and on the tip try, it's out of bounds to the U.S.
The German team, even though the strength of their squad is their big front court, they are not showing great rebounding capabilities on the defensive end.
Underneath, Odom is trapped and turned it over along the baseline. So Germany the ball with a 2-point lead and 3:23 left. And the U.S. coaching staff, they've been preaching this throughout, that these games are going to be difficult. And the American team is finding out just how difficult they are. Germany making a change. Nikadadze comes in. Nissan Nikadadze, number 10, into the backcourt. He handles the ball.
You can only hope that the United States players will start listening to Coach Larry Brown a lot more. And he's been preaching for the 32 years of his Hall of Fame career. 28 winning seasons in those 32 years, capped off by the NBA World Championship this year.
This is Garris handling. Nikadadze missed on the 3 try, and on the rebound, it is out of bounds to the U.S. and Tim Duncan asking the official, what's it take to get a foul here, because Dirk was right over his back.
You would think that there would be a call at some point. Boozer in, Lamar Odom out. Carlos Boozer, who was actually born here in Germany. Aschaffenburg.
And also Marbury out with Dwayne Wade on. United States down by 2. 2:52 for the quarter.
Now here's that zone defense for Germany.
Ball deflected, but to Duncan. The shot clock at 6. Iverson shoots for 3. Boozer trying to get to the offensive rebound, but it's out of bounds to Germany. And Larry Brown is saying that's because the German player held him. That's why he couldn't get to the loose ball.
Shaking his head in frustration, disappointment, disbelief, really.
Missed steal by Wade. Garris sends it to Nowitzki.
Now Nowitzki's got the shorter Richard Jefferson on him. Take him in the post, back to the basket.
Dirk Nowitzki with 6. And Germany with a 4-point lead. And the ball knocked out of bounds. The U.S. keeps it.
Everybody running away from the ball, trying to get out in transition. Some of these guards who are not normal ball handlers with Marbury on the bench right now are going to have to stay back and help Tim Duncan bring it up the court.
Duncan working in the post. They send a posse after him. A kick out to Iverson. Iverson leaves it for Boozer. And a foul call that'll put Carlos Boozer on the line. And the foul called on Eric Babu. That would be his first. Okalasa goes out of the game. Germany brings Robert Garrett on, number 7. Boozer making good on the first of 2.
Mentioned that Carlos Boozer was born here in Germany. There's also 2 members of our traveling party that have spent considerable time here in Germany. Yourself, Jim, and then Dr. Tony Dalen.
Yeah.
How long ago were you here?
That was so long ago that no one can remember. 2-point game, less than 2 minutes for the quarter. Garrett. Eric Babu and now Nowitzki. 7 on the shot clock. Garris missing, and a loose ball foul on Germany.
Tremendous box out by Carlos Boozer, who loves the physical game. And fans of the Utah Jazz will certainly appreciate his coming to the great Salt Lake Valley to replace Karl Malone.
But apparently they didn't get the memo here in Germany, because before the game, the public address announcer in introducing the American team introduced Carlos Boozer as a Cleveland Cavalier. Boozer on the line.
Maybe they were having trouble, as I was today, with their internet connection.
Boozer has made all 3 free throw attempts. The United States now with a chance to tie.
The U.S. is averaging 11 missed free throws a game in this tour.
There's a miss, but a tip in by Duncan, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 3-point play the hard way.
Again, the big men from Germany unable to box out and control their defensive backboard. Disaster if you're trying to win a big game.
Nowitzki attacking, and a foul.
I always wanted to play international basketball because, you know, I played in the NBA for 8-9 months in a year, and the games are in the middle of the night. So, you know, the average basketball fan is not going to watch games at 3 or 4 in the morning. So for me, it was always important to play in the summer, play in the national team, so fans in Germany can actually come. We always had exhibition games every summer. You know, my entire 20s, I played at least a couple games every summer at home. And so for me, that was always a part of, you know, letting the fans see you play, and also helping the sport grow in a soccer-dominant country, in a tennis-dominant country in the 90s. I always, you know, took it personal to connect with my fans and also try to grow the game. And so I think the average basketball fan had learned already about me by 2004 and knew who I was. But that game definitely helped, you know, put us on the map even more, if you will.
You need short, crisp passes against the zone defense.
You're allowed to do that. Nicobatse using the forearm to push the defender away. But you can't walk with the ball. You knock the guy down, but you can't walk with the ball. Or look like you're walking with the ball.
Jim, never try to understand international referees in basketball.
Marbury has it back loose. Germany to steal. The shot clock at 19, about 18 difference.
Stephon Marbury really struggling on this tour.
A big crowd here at the Cologne Arena in Cologne liking what the home country is doing so far. 5 on the shot clock. Didn't like that so much. They threw it away, and the United States has it with 18.7 left. Amari Stoudemire coming on for the United States. And Tim Duncan goes out. So the United States with a chance to have the final say here in the first quarter.
Much better ball movement against that zone. Not a lot of standing around and hesitation and indecision.
4 seconds left. Dwayne Wade at the buzzer. A big hit by Dwayne Wade.
We're in the hotbed of women's basketball. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Nice backdoor cut of Gumake on the assist from Clarendon.
Nice to see Morgan Tuck making shots.
Mitchell on a driving room, and she finishes.
Outside shooting critical for USA's medal successes in Athens.
Stoudemire out high. This is Marion. 9 on the shot clock. Marbury turns the corner. Stephon Marbury hits the scorebook for the first time since the U.S. got to Europe.
I was excited about being one of the chosen guys to play for the Dream Team. I thought it was a very honorable time to be one of the players that were picked. You know, my family was happy. We were all excited about the opportunity to play for the Dream Team.
A lot greater level of intensity by the U.S. tonight.
Marion gives it up to Marbury. A three. Overshot the rim. But it's followed in by Sean Marion. How many times has he picked up a loose ball or an errant rebound and done that in these 3 games so far?
But that's really his game. Quickness, athleticism, and his anticipation of where the ball's going. Far too much concentration on blocking out that time as opposed to going and getting the ball. Turnover Germany.
Yeah, they're having problems with a trapping defense by the Americans. Stephon Hammond coming back into the lineup. Nikobatsi going out for Germany at the guard spot. And Carmelo Anthony has come on for the USA.
Carmelo Anthony, who is leading Team USA in scoring with more than 17 points per game off the bench.
To shoot. Wade, nice move, and finds Stoudemire right in front of the rim.
Now we're seeing the crisp execution that we've come to expect from the Dream Teams. Here's some pressure, taking time off the clock.
Stephon Hammond guarded by Marbury. We played 2 minutes here in the second quarter.
Big men continue to step out. Stoudemire learning daily from Tim Duncan.
Germany running out of time. Knocked away by Wade. Oh, but picked up underneath and then tipped home by Agrabadu.
Much more physical front line for Germany than we saw from Italy last night. Italy's big men preferring to step to the perimeter and knock down threes all night. Galando was just tremendous.
3 being the difference on the board right now. Wade gets it out to Anthony. Marbury comes up shooting. Stephon Marbury finding the range.
So difficult for a player like Stephon Marbury, who's used to having the ball in his hands the whole time, playing the entire game, every single possession, really resting on what he does. No longer the case on such a dominant, well-balanced team.
Eric Babu making the move inside, and he draws the foul in the process.
You know, I never really went back and watched any of the games. I've seen highlights, but I've never really watched. And, you know, I can remember trying to do things that Larry Brown wanted us to do. I kind of can watch myself, you know, especially as a coach now, me trying to do what this guy is asking me to do on the basketball court, but it was definitely a lesson learned. It definitely taught that the game was evolving globally and that players were getting better and that the competition level went up, and guys weren't fearful of playing against the USA Dream Team anymore. During these times, it was a shift in paradigm. So for me, you know, putting on the jersey was, I mean, I represented the USA a multitude of times and playing Junior Olympics as well. So, you know, I knew what it was to walk in any arena globally with that USA jersey on. And for me to be able to do it during that time was still a special time.
Against the host country. Nowitzki the rebound.
If Dirk can teach the rest of his countrymen how to rebound defensively, they will move up. Not been an Olympic power traditionally.
Wilkorow gives it up. Now it's Femerling in the post against Stoudemire. Patrick Femerling, 5 points tonight. And Germany back to within 1. LeBron James moves on. Dwayne Wade to Marion. Wade smothered. Gets a pass off to James. Strong to the hoop. LeBron James.
LeBron James, another player like Marbury, making the adjustments to no longer being the focal point, having the ball in his hands, having to move without it constantly.
Tim Duncan will be coming back for the Americans at the next opportunity. Femmerling gets it up out front. Now it's Nowitzki. Marion guarding him. 3 to shoot. Ball knocked loose. Shot clock violation. And Hammond thought he was fouled, and I did too.
Coach Bowerman cannot believe it. Coach Bowerman has had extensive coaching experience in the United States. Fresno State, where he was a longtime assistant. One of the top coaching minds in basketball, Ron Adams, who's now with the Chicago Bulls on Scott Skiles' staff.
Tim Duncan back in the game, replacing Stottlemyre. There's a steal by Hammond. The basket is good, and a foul on Richard Jefferson.
And that just brings looks of disbelief from the U.S. bench. Richard Jefferson let him score. Nice anticipation. He goes out of bounds. Now, we're going to have to get a rule interpretation because in the United States, you can't make that kind of play.
Well, they were ruling it was loose. He didn't have possession. As long as it's loose, you can make that kind of play. And he hits the free throw to complete the three-point play. 7 points for Hammond. Germany is pole even at 35.
Those people who thought that the U.S. would come out and just destroy this German team, they might have got another thing coming to them.
Carmelo Anthony knocks out a 3.
And that's the beauty of basketball, that an undermanned, injured, and depleted backcourt can come out and still compete with the powerful USA squad.
Patrick Femmerling against Duncan. Workerer under pressure. Lost the ball as LeBron James comes out with it. LeBron zips a pass under to Wade. Nice move by Wade, but he couldn't get it to drop, nor James to tip. That's a 3 if it drops. Loose ball rebound to the United States. LeBron James to Duncan down the lane. Tim Duncan has 11, and the U.S. has scored 5 in a row. Stephon Hammond controlling for Germany. Femmerling back outside. They've got 8 to shoot. This is Nowitzki. Germany with the offensive rebound. Workerer takes it down.
Larry Brown changing up the defense on Nowitzki time and time again. Now it's Lamar Odom replacing Richard Jefferson.
Femmerling. Nothing doing. And the United States comes away with it.
Wouldn't it be nice as a basketball player, as a big man, if you could go over people's back like that time and time again and not get called for fouls?
You mean in the NBA?
Or at any level of basketball?
Well, apparently you can. Anthony. And that's Devon Green with the rebound. Dirk. Duncan takes down the rebound. Allen Iverson advancing.
2 solid defensive possessions by Lamar Odom that time.
And the fans like the move by Dennis Workerer. Green off the layup, got turned away, but a foul called, and he'll be on the line shooting 2. Green made good on the second toss.
Germany's best Olympic finish ever with 7th place in the '84 Los Angeles games. They lost to the U.S. that year by 11. It was the closest game that Jordan and Ewing had in that entire tournament.
Well, the United States really active defensively, staying with it. LeBron James on the miss, and the rebound to Germany. Concentration level has been there from the start for the United States. Their energy level is up.
And still not able to create much separation, which I think has to be a grave concern for Larry Brown, Greg Popovich, Roy Williams, and Oliver Purnell.
But after what they saw last night, they've got to like what I just said. The energy and the intensity.
It's better.
Yeah.
But is it good enough? Germany didn't even qualify for the Olympics. Now, Serbia-Montenegro's up next.
And we'll continue this conversation when we return.
LeBron James, who's the most popular jersey seller of all, not just in the NBA, but of all sports these days.
And you even have a number of Michael Jordan Bulls jerseys still making the rounds. Oh, that's pretty. Emeka Okafor, who just came in, has his first points in the stay here in Germany and the United States with a 6-point lead. That's its biggest.
Where last night, no one for the United States played well. Tonight, everyone has made a contribution.
6 to shoot. Nowitzki captures the loose ball rebound.
I mean, he's probably, if not one of the best international players, if not top 5 players to ever play international basketball who's played in the NBA. He's one of the best NBA players to play. You know, so to be able to get to play against him during this time, to see how the people gravitated towards him was pretty cool. And he put on as well. He didn't disappoint at all. You know, Allen doesn't make that big shot at the end of the game. We lose that game.
A little over a minute left in the half. Dirk Nowitzki, who's been sensational, gets rid of it. And then a foul called on USA.
I like what Larry Brown has finally been able to get across to his team, and that is when you have the most talent, and you are so physically superior to your opponents, speed the game up. Get out there and press. Make it go up and down. The chances of your winning, including the fact that you got a shorter game, are going to skyrocket.
That foul on Carmelo Anthony. Dirk Nowitzki up and under and serves it up lefty. 15 for Nowitzki.
Well, Lamar Odom did everything possible, but you have to have some defensive help in the rotation. Emeka Okafor will learn as he moves into the NBA this year that it's not just one-on-one defense.
Anthony delivers. Carmelo Anthony has 5 points tonight. And the United States will get it again on shot clock possession. About 9 difference. Off the loose ball. And Germany keeps it, but the shorter player got snuffed under the rim. And now the U.S. can take its time, but instead they attack the rim with 11 seconds left. And a foul called on Germany.
Here in Cologne, you got squads like Bonn and Oldenburg, Bamberg, a very good program.
Carmelo Anthony shooting from deep, and he shot it early, but the U.S. gets the steal. 3 seconds. Iverson. They get a corner look for LeBron James. And the first half comes to an end. A little more spirited group in the blue uniform.
Basketball has been a game changer for me.
It's helped me grow as a teammate and a leader.
By establishing standards for youth development, USA Basketball is making a difference for players of all ages.
Through education and training,
They're helping to make the game safer
and more fun. Make sure your child is taught the right way.
Ensure you're the best coach you can be.
To learn more, visit USAB.com or download the USA Basketball mobile app.
We're in the hotbed of women's basketball, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Nice backdoor cut of Gumake on the assist from Clarendon.
Nice to see Morgan Tuck making shots.
Mitchell on a driving room, and she finishes.
Whose strength is their young, athletic, very formidable front line.
The Americans controlling the tip. Jefferson trying to strike quickly. The ball trickles out of bounds to Germany.
At what point, Jim, will all leagues come together and have a standardized set of rules? NCAA, NBA, FIBA.
NBA rules are nice. Nowitzki gives Germany its first 3-point hit of the game. Dirk has 18. Marbury off penetration. Tim Duncan with 13.
His finishing capability on the move is remarkable. Nice fast break opportunity.
Nothing doing at the rim, though. Here's Marbury back the other way, and the foul. Stephon Marbury on the free throw line to shoot 2. Stephen Hammond picking up the foul, his second.
First play, Germany coming out of the halftime adjustment period. He just steps right back and says, I'm letting this fly. Dirk looks tremendous. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight. The skin color, the tan, the German people just love the sunshine, and what a beautiful week of weather we've had here in the Rhine River Valley.
Dirk Nowitzki, who during the offseason in Germany, a tough regimen he goes through about every day.
He ran a German camp here for young people, young kids, and he was helped by his players and coaches from around this national team.
Older. Also helps Dirk in just about all facets. 8 to shoot. Ooh, left that layup way short, Stephon Hammond. At mid-court, and the ball kicked out of bounds by USA.
Beverly, very solid job. He'll be playing for Barcelona next year. Beverly was at Penn State University, but didn't like the way things were working out there, so he quit there after his junior year. But this nice poke by Femmerling, well over 7 feet tall, just gives possession back to Germany.
Germany only down by 4.
And they're not playing that well, with the exception of Dirk Nowitzki.
Femmerling overshoots the rim. Lamar Odom helping to dig it out. Marbury on the advance. Nice drop pass to Jefferson. Couldn't encore that dunk that he had in the first half, but Tim Duncan is there to clean up for the Americans.
Sometimes it's tough if you have a bunch of individual players, individual stars, to come in and put them all on the same page and the game is different in Europe. The rules are a little different, and we're allowed to play zone, which at the time we weren't allowed, I think, in the NBA. So it's a completely different game. It's officiated differently, and so it's a lot harder to win a gold medal in any competition than you think. So. But I have huge respect for Timmy and for all these players, and just LeBron, Camelo, these guys were just starting to come up, and you could already see how talented they were, and what the career they were going to have. So I thought they had a great team, and to me they were the favorites going into happen.
Tournaments, which is what this German squad is preparing for. They'll be in the same group as Ukraine, Belgium, and Hungary.
How about that shot by Duncan? Almost a sidewinder as he got it to go off the glass. Tim Duncan. Every time you watch him play, he shows you something you maybe haven't seen before. So does Nowitzki, nothing doing that time. Richard Jefferson corrals the rebound.
What I like about Tim in the international game is that we get to see him on the receiving end. Richard Jefferson again leaves it short.
So Germany down by 6, 7.5 left in the third. Tim Duncan collects the rebound.
USA leads by 6. They're playing fairly well. Germany not getting it done, and they're still right there.
Odom. The tip won't go. Femmerling clears. Stephon Hammond going to the hoop, and a foul on Odom.
We saw this last night with the great guard play from Italy. Vasily, Marbury, these guys just come in that sense of initiate the contact with the only intention of getting to the free throw line. A little shake and bake here. Lamar Odom gets crossed up with the leg footwork defensively. The block, yes, up top, but clearly a foul down low.
Stephon Hammond has 8 points tonight, had 11 on Sunday against Italy, and an 8-point win for Germany. Nine for Hammond. U.S. lead is 4.
For a team that's only been together 10 days and missing their starting backcourt, they've played surprisingly well, this German national team.
Nowitzki cleans up on the Iverson miss. And then Odom knocked it away from Dirk out of bounds to stop the German thrust up the floor.
I love the way Duncan comes over. It's always encouraging. He's telling Odom, you keep doing that. I've got your backside. I don't have to worry about Femerling unless it's in a dunking situation.
Garris gives it up. And on the reverse, it drops for Okalaja.
6 points for him. Germany back to within 2.
And the USA not able to get out in transition because they're having to take it out of the net. The guards are getting worked down low once again.
Richard Jefferson with a good handoff inside. A foul called before the shot by Odom, so the dunk won't count.
Okalaja picks up the foul. First foul on him.
Jefferson thinking he's going to the free throw line there. Again, the confusion over the international rules and the interpretation of what the referees are calling. They never really say anything.
Duncan on the miss. Nowitzki the rebound. And now Germany with a chance to tie this possession.
Odom, superior physical fitness right now over, I think, anybody else on the USA team.
Garris missing. Here comes Marbury on the push. Now Lamar Odom takes up slack. Femerling the rebound.
Nowitzki in on Odom. Germany pulls even. That's 6 in a row for the Germans.
Dirk Nowitzki with 20. And the big crowd at the Cole Arena is alive now.
Dirk lost that ball on the way up. He was going for a throwdown.
Iverson on the miss, and Germany with a chance at the lead.
Dirk's begging for that ball. Duncan has switched over. He said, look, I'll take Dirk.
Hammond lost his balance, nearly lost the ball. Nowitzki. Garris comes back to Femerling, 4 to shoot. Femerling across the lane. Gets his own rebound, and the Germans have taken the lead. Stephon Garris with his first points tonight. 8 straight points by Germany.
The greatest moment in the history of German basketball is when they won the European Championship in '93 with Christian Welp. And Munich was the star. This would be an unbelievable upset. And coming on the heels of what happened last night. What is going on here? How can this be?
Germany with a chance to add to the lead this trip. Stephon Garris. 10 on the shot clock. This German lead, its first since the first quarter. Nowitzki missing for 3, trying to draw the foul. Long pass from Iverson to Jefferson. A return to Iverson, and his 3 puts the United States on top by 1.
Allen is Allen. Whenever he gets on the court, he plays and played with that same type of pizzazz, that same funk, that same grit when he's on the court hooping, whether if it's international or if it's NBA. I think playing international is a little bit different because he's playing with a variety of different guys who have ability to do some of the same things that he's able to do.
And now the fans have adopted the wave.
Isn't that special?
Well, it's really remarkable what they've done here because at the end of World War II, 90% of this city was leveled by the Allied bombings.
Dirk Nowitzki gives Germany the 1-point lead.
How is 2 for Dirk?
How is the USA going to respond to this adversity? Larry Brown wanted this. He's got it. Now the players have to know what to do when the ball bounces the other way.
Duncan had it stripped. This is Stephon Hammond. Wucherer.
Dennis Wucherer with 6 points as Germany goes up by 3.
Hanneman is playing outstanding basketball, not scoring as well as a great player would, but the little intangibles truly solid for Germany.
Duncan with a nice counter for the Americans. That's 19 for Duncan.
That quiets the crowd there, which is a good thing for Larry Brown's U.S. team.
Less than 3 minutes for the third. The shot clock at 10. Nowitzki trying to shake loose. 5 to shoot now. Dirk has it back. Dirk Nowitzki Nowitzki bags 2 more.
We had a good team, and you know, in '99, I remember we had the Euros in France, and there were a bunch of good teams. Then obviously we missed, unfortunately, the cups for 2000 Olympics, which I watched on TV in Sydney. And that was a great tournament. And so then every year we had a big tournament where we're doing well. In '01, and remember in the Euros in Turkey, you know, we made it all the way to the semifinals. Spain was just starting to come along with Pau and Navarro and these guys. Serbia had a great team, you know, with Peja coming on, and I think they won the Euros that year in 2001. And probably one of our biggest success was winning bronze in 2002 in the World Cup, actually in the U.S. in Indianapolis. That was one of the greatest 2 weeks that I've had internationally, and it was so much fun. And for us to, you know, fly under the radar and then win a bronze medal, of course, I'll never forget. So there were a lot of great teams, and you know, sports, basketball was growing all over the world, and it was a fun to be a part of that era.
Anthony in the game. Dwayne Wade handles number 6. Sean Marion.
Now you see the packed-in zone defense, challenging the Americans' real weakness: ball movement and lack of outside shooting.
Now 6 to shoot. Marion for 3.
Ooh.
Just what you talked about, Bill Walton. Elijah tracks down the loose ball. Nowitzki for 3. Marion advancing.
This is the American game. Wide open transition.
1:19 for the third. We've had a 9-point swing in this quarter. The U.S. was up by 6. Carmelo Anthony draws the foul in the active shooting. 2 shots coming for Anthony.
Angezeigt in Deutschland. Nummer 14, Dirk Nowitzki, erstes Foul des 5. Spieler nächste Deutschland. Aus dem Spiel Ademola.
Dirk Nowitzki called for the foul. Devon Green has come on for Germany. Number 6. And Jefferson returns for USA. Tim Duncan is going out with 1:12 left in the third.
Very small lineup for Larry Brown, and in these games, whenever Duncan has gone to the bench, that's when the U.S. has had huge difficulties. Can they keep it together?
And Dirk Nowitzki goes out for Germany, as Jan Jagla has come on. Jan Jagla, who played at Penn State. Anthony makes good on the first. There's Jagla.
Even though Carmelo Anthony's only 19 years old, he's already been to Europe a number of times. He played in France, Venezuela, down in South America, and now Germany. So well-traveled for just a young man.
2 clutch free throws made by Anthony. The Americans are within 1. Wilkerer working out front. Wilkerer pops it up with a dribble. Then it's loose. Anthony unable to get to it. It's out of bounds to Germany.
All that work, they've really focused in on Carmelo Anthony's defensive contribution. The coaching staff: Larry Brown, Oliver Purnell, Greg Popovich, Roy Williams.
Less than 55 seconds for the third. And the ball tipped away, but Green gets the shot away. Loose ball rebound saved by the U.S.
Now in transition, Anthony lines up a 3. Rebounded by Boozer.
Carlos Boozer has his first field goal. He's got 5 points in the game, and the U.S. has taken the lead.
As soon as Dirk Nowitzki goes out, they just start punishing Germany. The U.S. does on the offensive glass.
Here's a foul called on the Americans. Foul out front. Wade, I believe. First foul on Wade. Here we are in Cologne, Germany, the United States, with another stiff test. I'm Jim Durham with Bill Walton. They lead by 1, but Germany possibly with the final possession of the third quarter. 16 to shoot, 1 difference. Wilkerer being chased by Anthony out front. 6 to shoot. Out of bounds to Germany with 4 on the shot clock. It was less than 1 second, 4.6 remaining.
How about bringing Dirk in for the 4-second possession here? Let's bring him for a 3.
Green is fouled in the act of shooting a 3, I believe. Dwayne Wade called for the foul.
Hallmark of Larry Brown's teaching is to outthink your opponents. Mental breakdowns, which have cost his USA team dearly on this tour.
Ron Green drops the first one, 2 points for him. Don't forget Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern, more coverage of this pre-Olympic 6-game package on ESPN at 7 o'clock Eastern. The USA against Serbia, Montenegro. It was just a 2-point attempt by Green, and he makes good on both. Germany by 1 at the buzzer. Anthony's heave off the mark.
The USA practices those shots on a regular basis there. Dwayne Wade gets him to fall. That time, though, Carmelo Anthony just off the mark.
And so the United States at one time up by 6, trails by 1 after 3.
We're in the hotbed of women's basketball, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Nice backdoor cut of Gumake on the assist from Clarendon.
Nice to see Morgan Tuck making shots.
Mitchell on a driving room, and she finishes.
The United States down 1 as the 4th quarter gets underway. Germany in the zone. Boozer. Knocked loose and off the head of Green, out of bounds.
Well, we understand that soccer is the #1 sport here in Germany, but I don't think that's quite what Coach Bowerman had in mind.
The United States with another possession and a fresh 24 coming in.
They're just backing off. Germany is off the USA perimeter players.
Jefferson lines up a 3. Richard Jefferson puts the U.S. up. That's 5 points for Richard Jefferson.
Richard will have to do a lot more of that this year as the dismantling of the New Jersey Nets continues. Where will Jason Kidd play next year? Nice drop step
by Femerling. Nice move with the left hand. Femerling has 9, and Germany pulls even. 1 minute in to the 4th quarter, and the pass from Boozer kicked out of bounds by Germany.
Tough spacing and floor balance that time for the United States. You've got Carlos Boozer handling the ball out behind the 3-point line. That's not his game. Trying to create, they're able to just poke the ball away.
Wade brings it in to Jefferson. Dwayne Wade off penetration. The ball knocked away from Boozer, but last touch by the United States, out of bounds to Germany.
As talented as Dwayne Wade is, he has not been able to bring his game to the European continent.
He's back. Dirk Nowitzki coming back in the game. 24 points for him. 8:52 left in regulation.
Just the fact that Germany's been able to hang tough here has been a tremendous accomplishment for their development program.
Not only hang tough, but get the lead as Green delivers off the drive. His first field goal, 5 points for him. Anthony. Jefferson back to Anthony. 9 on the shot clock. Melo fires, and the Americans pull even at 65.
Carmelo's eyes lighting up. Oh, down the lane, nice drive.
Booker had it knocked away by Anthony. And then a foul called on Germany on the U.S. move up the floor.
Well, back to Carmelo Anthony, whose defense has been vastly improved in this game. His eyes just lit up when we talked to him about Kenyon Martin joining the team. Because this was a squad that won 43 games for Jeff Brazdelik last year. They'd proven over 17 the year before. They didn't lose anybody and picked up Kenyon Martin.
Anthony again. Anthony doing it all for the Americans right now at both ends, and the USA with a 3-point lead.
And he'll be commanding more playing time if he can continue to master that perimeter jumper.
Booker. Leaves it for Green around a Femmerling screen with 7 to shoot. Femmerling had it knocked away by Boozer. 3 on the shot clock, and Germany to throw in.
Booker came around that high screen there for Germany. He was poked right in the eyes. The Three Stooges defense. Ignored by the referees.
Off the inbounds, Femmerling unable to score. United States in the third quarter of this one led by 6. Germany came back to get the lead at the end of 3. Now the U.S. up by 3 with 7:20 remaining.
Nice. You got to catch the ball if you're Femmerling there.
Duncan went down on the court to dig it out for the United States.
Point guard walks back to Femmerling and says, where would you like it next time?
They walk over and hand it to you. Anthony called for a walk. Anytime a player fakes for the ball, it's traveling, whether the feet move or not.
All of the people from USA Basketball, Jim Tooley, and just everybody, Craig and Sean, those guys that work so hard and making everything operate for USA Basketball. People don't realize how hard it is for those guys to operate, to stay in operation, and for them to make sure all of the things go right for us, and to make sure we all have what we need, we of course we represent the country. That's a must, in our families and our neighborhoods and our homeboys that, talk about, yo, you made it on the dream team. Like, you always represent. But, for me, USA Basketball, they have a special place in my life, because I can remember when I first got my letter to go play when I was younger, to play for the national team. And I was so hyped, like, oh my God, I got invited to play for the USA Basketball team. I couldn't believe it. And then it fell on where it was my prom. It fell on when it was my prom. And, my mom was like, oh yeah, this is the time when you're going to prom. I was like, oh, I'm not going. She was like, oh, yes, you are. I always tell that story, and I can remember when my mom was like, oh no, you're going. You getting a chance to go to Argentina? No, you're going. She was like, what you gonna do at that prom? You ain't gonna do nothing at that prom. You ain't missing nothing. So, when I went and I had the time that I had under Coach Clem Haskins, it was a life-changing moment playing for USA Basketball. It really broadened my understanding about life, international ball. It broadened my horizon as far as how I felt about where I was from, thinking that where I came from and growing up in Coney Island and the hood was so bad. When I went to some of the places that I went to and experienced, I was like, wow, where we live at, it's damn near luxury to some kids. Some kids just running around without any shoes on, feet dirty. I've seen it and witnessed it, but, that's not something that I was experiencing. So, USA Basketball gave me great depths in being able to understand circumstances and situations in life, and for you to really realize how fortunate and how blessed you are. So, and it's a chain, and it goes all the way up until the dream team from Junior Olympics. But just overall, I'm thankful for everyone at USA Basketball, and I really tried to play my best for them, because those were the people who I was around all of the time. And, we wanted to make them happy and make them proud. So I can't leave them out.
Yet this guy has been everywhere and found somewhere to get a big grease mark on the backside of his pants.
So apparently the floor not quite as clean as you believe.
But he's been off the floor as well.
20 to shoot. Nowitzki passed Odom to the hoop, and the German national team has pulled even. Dirk Nowitzki with 26.
They're taking Duncan out of any sort of flow right now.
Duncan with the rebound, and the Marbury miss. The ball knocked away. Here comes Germany with a chance in the lead. Okalaja is fouled and will be on the line.
Fierce competition here for an exhibition game.
Okalaja missing the free throw.
But the free throw attempts, normally the USA dominates as they have in the rebounds in that department, but tonight Germany has taken 6 more free throw attempts than the USA.
Okalaja makes good on that one. So Germany with a 1-point lead. Germans stay in the zone. Marbury leads it for Anthony. The U.S. works it around the horn, 7 to shoot. Marbury comes up shooting for 2. Nowitzki the rebound, and Germany looking to extend at a 1-point lead. Dirk going strong to the hoop, and a foul on Duncan. 3 on Duncan.
Germany, like Italy last night, down the stretch, playing a smarter game, knowing how to get to the free throw line, the comprehension and grasp of the international rules.
Teacher Jefferson replaces Lamar Odom for the United States. And Dirk Nowitzki on the free throw line, 26 points tonight.
Lots of substitutions late for Larry Brown. Tough for the players to get a rhythm after having sat for so long.
That's the first missed free throw for Nowitzki in this series of games in Cologne, as he was 7 for 7 against Italy on Sunday, and he had his only hit tonight in the first half. 27 points for Nowitzki. Germany by 2 with less than 3.5 remaining.
I would say a pretty good week for Dirk Nowitzki. 26.27 tonight for a guy who admittedly is not at the top of his game.
Iverson, and the ball kicked out of bounds.
We talked about the substitution, the rash of them by Larry Brown. One guy who's not getting the calls is LeBron James, who's played only 7 minutes tonight.
Iverson comes in with a fresh 24, Marbury. Inside pass stolen, ball loose, and Jefferson knocks it away. Good play by Jefferson. Duncan going to the hoop, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Germany.
Tough play for Duncan that time on a scramble by both teams. Normally when there's one defender back, try to get the ball to the side a little bit to come in at an angle to force the defender to commit.
Marbury triggers to Iverson. Iverson has 12 to shoot. Marbury comes back to Iverson. He launches a 3. Germany the rebound. Stephon exchanges with Green.
Who can push through the fatigue? Who can make the correct mental decisions down the stretch?
Jamon Green with a nice hand off the front of it. He got turned away right at the rim.
Great quickness by Duncan and Jefferson, collapsing defense.
2:12 for regulation. United States again having a problem with its own defense. Nowitzki with a play inside defensively. And Marbury with a steal. Ahead to Anthony. 2-on-1 at the rim, and Anthony ties the game.
Richard Jefferson and Tim Duncan trying to figure out the zone defense that Germany has thrown at them time and time again. We can only wonder when the offensive fluidity will come USA's way.
U.S. extending the defense in the half court. Jamon Green with a 360 jumper. And Iverson with a rebound. The Americans with a crack at the lead.
Maybe not the best shot selection by Green.
And that's a rarity.
for Germany, and most international teams, they usually get pretty good shots. 5 seconds to shoot for the U.S. Carmelo Anthony.
Well, they know it.
Iverson offers a three. A big hit by Allen Iverson. His third three-pointer tonight.
Iverson, without question, one of the NBA's most popular stars, both at home and abroad. The cheers that he gets on a constant basis.
Nowitzki comes up shooting. The rebound to Duncan. Less than a minute. Marbury tries a three. And the ball tipped out of bounds by the United States. Germany has it with 46.6 left. With Bill Walton, I'm Jim Durham. You're looking at Tim Duncan, who has picked up his fourth foul. Dirk Nowitzki on the line shooting 3 free throws. Germany within 2 after the first one. 28 points for Nowitzki.
The tremendous number of flash cameras that are going off in this historic event here quite possibly could get into the concentration and eyes of Dirk Nowitzki. Can't get the second to fall.
He's 3 out of 5 from the line tonight. Nowitzki now, the best he can do is bring Germany within 1. 35 seconds left. It's a 1-point game. So an important offensive possession for the United States. 13 to shoot for Iverson. The ball knocked away. Duncan recovers. And a foul call on Femmerling. Femmerling has his fourth.
Not a shooting foul, but it gives them a reset of the shot clock.
Not only that, they can take it all the way out now. 17.1 seconds left.
They've got a foul.
There is no shot clock, and so Nowitzki takes the foul that'll put Richard Jefferson on the line. Dirk, only his second foul.
Tonight, emotion on full display from the outside of the U.S. with so much at stake, including pride and individual personal honor.
Germany has 14 fouls, so the U.S. will be on the line now on this foul committed by Stephon Hammond. Hammond with his third.
Nice job by Richard Jefferson. No, they're not going to shoot these either.
Well, that's a 15 foul, though, isn't it?
It's international basketball.
Apparently, we were given the wrong information. It was not 14 fouls. So how many is that?
Well, we saw what happened in Munich in 1972.
Garris is called for that foul. 2 fouls on him. And now the United States is on the free throw line with 12.4.
And Richard Jefferson did a very wise thing of waiting until he could get the ball to Carmelo Anthony, who has that sense of never getting satisfied with how many points he already put on the board.
Which is 14, 2 for 2 from the line. USA up by 2.
Does Germany call a timeout or they get it on the run?
They're going to take it on the run with 11 seconds.
Stay at home with Dirk Nowitzki. Don't let him screen and step back.
It's Nowitzki launching a three. USA has it in play in 3 seconds. Allen Iverson at the buzzer. The United States has won.
So what happened was, of course, you know, we were down 3. We tried to hurry, speed the game up, and get a half-decent look. And, you know, run the high screen and roll how we ever ran 1,000 times, and the guard kicks it back, and I just, you know, it's now or never, and I shot it, and it went in, and I think the whole place just completely erupted, thinking we're going to overtime. And as I see, the cameraman was so hyped, he must have just, you know, ran away from his camera. I don't know what happened, but I remember then AI like just looking, and you know, the shot was in the air forever, and it bounced in. But, you know, I kind of was happy, but I was of course sad when we lost. But I was happy for the game we were able to put on for our fans and for basketball Germany. And I think, like I said, it helped grow the sport in our country. So I was sad, of course, immediately that we watched the game and that we lost the game. But I was also happy that we've done something for our sport.
We're in the hotbed of women's basketball, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Nice backdoor cut of Gumake on the assist from Clarendon.
Nice to see Morgan Tuck making shots.
Mitchell on a driving room, and she finishes.